big breaking news coming in over the escalating tariff war between the United States and India. We learned that Trump's trade advisor, Peter Navarro, has posted a fresh thread on X targeting India, slamming Russian oil buys and pushing steep tariffs, calling the Biden team soft and urging a tougher line. That's a strong statement that has been made by Trump's trade advisor. In fact, not just that, in one of his tweets, he summed up everything that's happened in 10 days. He says, and I quote, President Trump's 50% tariffs on Indian exports are now in effect. This isn't just about India's unfair trade. It's about cutting off the financial lifeline India has extended to Putin's war machine. So yesterday, where he called the Russia-Ukraine war Modi's war, today he calls it Putin's war and accuses India of being a financial lifeline for extending to Putin for the war machine. Ambassador Suresh Kumar Goyal, former diplomat, is joining us on the broadcast on that note. Ambassador, good morning to you. Thank you very much for speaking to Republic this morning. Peter Navarro, a very, very close aide of Donald Trump. He's the trade advisor. He sums up in one of his tweets where he says that it is India that is financially supporting Russia's war, Putin's war. And just yesterday, he called it Modi's war. But a fact check for the United States President and Peter Navarro that this is not Modi's war. This is a war that has been initiated by both sides, Russia and Ukraine. A fact check for the United States is what is needed. It's the need of the hour. Ambassador.
Let us look at two things really here. First of all, there seems to be some kind of a division even within Trump's team. Peter Navarro is saying one thing, Besant is saying other thing, and somebody else is saying other thing, and we do not even know what Trump is saying or thinking. He has been himself rather quiet on this issue for quite a few days, really. So, and we knowing Trump's team, basically they say what Trump says. So I'm not going to go by what Navarro says, but the fact is that he has some kind of animosity against India, which he keeps on articulating. The factual situation is, if you look at really what is happening in Europe and Russia and USA, if USA is so keen to stop financial support to Russia in its war against Ukraine, why is it still importing fertilizers, those critical minerals and other material from Russia? Why is Europe still importing energy from Russia? Why are they not targeting China? Only because China is supplying, China has agreed to provide critical minerals to the USA. And therefore, even if China is buying more oil from Russia, China still has less traffic than India, tariff than India. So it is not about supporting Russia, it's clear.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely.
About supporting Russia. There is some element of animosity which has crept into Trump team vis-a-vis India is concerned.
Right, sir.
We need to respond to that. What we need to focus on is that in response, diversify our markets, export markets, which we are already doing. Focus on the domestic market. Our big problem is not going to be really impact on GDP. Our big problem will be really employment, because lots of factories which are now exporting something about $15 billion of products to USA, and their export orders have been cancelled or are on the hold, those people will be unemployed. And therefore, if we can find a way to divert those products into the domestic market, which is not too difficult, $15 billion is nothing really compared to the Indian market. And therefore, I don't think we need to worry about what Peter Navarro says. I'm sure sooner or later, when their own economy begins to suffer because of high prices and inflation, they will come down to the ground and check on the reality and start to deal with India on the basis of facts again.
Right. Yes. Ambassador Suresh, like you were saying, there is a hint of animosity. This is certainly not about targeting Russia. And don't you think this is only spoiling the India-United States ties? Because Donald Trump has gone by far to call India one of its closest allies, to praise the Prime Minister. And now by doing this, don't you think that he's training India and United States ties more further? And India has completely made it clear that we will protect our national interests first. That is paramount. What do you think think is the next step that India should be taking? Because should we be proceeding towards implementing reciprocal tariffs on United States, or what is the other way in which India can respond to Donald Trump's tariff war very strongly?
I don't think we need to really go the tariff way. Frankly speaking, I have always felt that tariff is not the way to control trade. Trade is actually controlled by the free flow of goods, buying capacity, and trade actually contributes to the growth of economy. Therefore, I don't think we need to go the tariff way. Frankly speaking, whatever limited American exports are there to India, they can continue. But what we need to do really now is check our own economy, check our domestic market. And number two, what we need to keep an eye on is growing closeness of the USA to Pakistan, which actually is the bedrock and the mastermind of all the international terrorism in the region. When President Trump begins to actually have lunches with Asim Modi, who is supporting all this terrorism, I really begin to wonder what is going on in the USA now. After having captured Osama bin Laden from Pakistan, they are now giving a certificate to Pakistan that Pakistan is actually with them in the fight against international terrorism. I don't understand really.
Right.
So I think we need to be patient. India-USA ties are far more durable and far more important than Trump. Trump has come, Trump will go, but India-USA relations will stay, and they are far more important. Yes.
Right, sir. Ambassador, thank you very much for joining us here today on this broadcast early this morning. Appreciate you joining and looking forward to speak to you again. But for now, it's time for us to shift our focus to some